Okay, why is my juice harsh? It's another big question. Most of the time it's going to be because your nicotine level is way too high. Plain and simple. Especially for people that are beginning. They're used to the cigarettes most of the time. Go in, ask, hey, how much nicotine should I have in my juice? What shop you go into most of the time is going to determine what nic level they're going to tell you. Some of those really like ghetto shops or whatever, they're going to tell you that you need like a 24 milligram. No. I don't think I know anybody that needs a 24 milligram nicotine. Definitely not the 36 milligram nicotine. That's just madness. That's pretty much like one hit and you're done for the rest of the day because it's just too much nicotine. On average, if you smoke, like for example, like Camel Menthol Lights, if you smoke Marlboro Lights, something like that, you're not going to need more than a 6 milligram, definitely not more than a 12 milligram. If you smoke full flavor cigarettes like Marlboro Reds, maybe like Newports, something like that, something that's really strong, definitely not going to need more than an 18 milligram. Honestly, a 12 milligram is usually a good starting point when you're getting off of the cigarettes. I smoked for a long, long time. Some of you may not know. I actually smoked since I was like 11, and yeah, no more cigarettes. Like at this point, I haven't had a cigarette in like 3 months, and it doesn't bother me because I get plenty of nicotine from my juice. Actually, when I go to competitions, I actually comp with 0 nic liquid because vaping on it that much, like when I'm at a competition, it actually makes me super lightheaded at this point, to even with a 3 nic. So it's just not necessary to have a really high level juice. If you were like a very infrequent smoker, maybe you go through like half a pack like every 2 days or something like that, getting anything more than like a 3 is probably unnecessary. So definitely be paying attention to how high your nicotine level is. A lot of places, like I said, like the ghetto shops or whatever, they are probably likely to try to sell you a higher level of nicotine just so they can get it out of the store. Because I'm sure they are aware that they have no problem selling 3 and 6 nicotine level. Getting rid of the 24 nic and the 36 nic is borderline impossible. A lot of places don't even carry it or even make it, for that matter. Yeah, make sure you're paying attention to your nic level. That's going to solve pretty much all of your problems. The only other reason would be for the more advanced users that are like into mech mods and stuff already. Maybe it's just because it's a problem with the juice having an extremely potent flavor to it, coupled with a really low resistance build. So it's getting super hot along with that super strong flavor. So it's coupling just to make it really, really harsh. In which case, I would recommend either building to a higher resistance. Get yourself at like a 0.25, maybe a 0.3 even. Cool down that vape a little bit, and then you'll be able to go through that juice a lot easier. I had a Ripe Vapes kiwi lime key lime cookie is what it was. It was a Ripe Vapes key lime cookie. That flavor is stupid potent. It's an extremely strong flavor. It tastes awesome, but it tastes like you're eating key lime pie pretty much. But the flavor is too strong to vape at a really low resistance. So I actually made a build that was like I think it was like a 0.29 or something like that, and that was a lot better. Made it a lot easier to vape on. It was still a little bit harsh, but not so much that I couldn't vape it. But that's going to be your 2 big things right there. Either nicotine level is way too high, flavor is too strong, coupled with resistance too low. Basically just too hot. So make sure you take those into consideration. If neither of those are your problem, then that might be another time to kind of reevaluate that question and find out what might be the problem instead. In which case, definitely feel free to ask like one of your forums, one of your groups on Facebook, or just ask at a shop. I mean, they would probably be able to tell you too. Which brings me back to another question. Like I stated earlier, I had a lot of people that asked me where to go to buy product. I did answer that. I forgot to mention where not to go. Do not go to a gas station, for starters, to get your product. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to buy product there, and then if you have any questions about it, they're going to have no idea. Your standard gas clerk is not going to have any idea about any kind of vaping product. Most of the time, they don't even believe in vaping. But they're definitely not going to know any of the specifics for the product. So if you ask them how many ohms it burns at, you ask them how long the coil is going to last, you ask them where the juice is made, whatever, they're going to have no idea. Because it isn't their job to know. That's why I do strongly recommend going to an actual vape shop. Whether you go to Alt Smoke or Smart Ash, First Choice, you go to the Vapor Station, Kings of Vapor, wherever you end up, make sure you actually go to a vapor shop. I personally will not be buying anything off of eBay or probably not Amazon either, unless I know that it's a trusted store that's selling on Amazon. Simply because, especially for juice, you don't have any idea where it was made. You don't know where it was made. I mean, it's for all I know or you know, it might be made in some dude's basement, covered in like cat pee or something, and they just happen to be mixing juice in the same space. It might be in somebody's garage where there's dust all over the place, so there could very easily be dust in the juice. They could be using all kinds of chemicals, like if the juice is made in China or Indonesia or wherever, they might be using chemicals that are not actually safe for us to vape. I do strongly recommend making sure that you get juice that's made in the United States. Like for example, Five Ponds, Cyclops, both of those companies, come from California. Like I stated, Strange Clouds, it's actually made here in Canton. There's going to be a bunch like Little Devils, also made here in Canton. You're going to have all kinds of flavors that are going to be tremendously better than something that you're going to find at like a gas station. Because not only are you going to have better ingredients, but the flavor is just going to be stronger. You're going to be much more satisfied with the juice if you get it from an actual vapor shop. Same thing with your products. You're going to be much more satisfied because you're going to know that it's good product. You're going to probably have some form of warranty on it, whether it's just like a damaged tank, whether the mod itself is like missing a connector piece or something. Maybe it's missing the bottom copper connection or something. You're going to be able to take it back, have them replace it without any problems. Versus going to a gas station where they're going to have all kinds of hassle. They're going to question why you're returning it, blah, 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 blah. And of course, they're not going to have any idea about anything about it anyway. So yeah, save yourself the trouble. Just go to a trusted shop or store. Yeah, again, just going to solve a lot of problems for you. Make sure you don't have any issues in the future. Yeah, I mean, that's really going to answer all the questions that I had that you guys sent out to me. The last question that I did have on here is, does vaping work? Yes. Yes, it does. Okay? Vaping does work. You just need to give it the time to allow it to work. I understand perfectly well that if you've been smoking for a long time, if you only try it for a couple of weeks, vaping seems like it's kind of pointless. You need to give it that time. A lot of people notice that when they start vaping and get off the cigarettes, they start coughing a lot, they start hacking a lot. That's actually got nothing to do with the vape. It's actually got entirely to do with your lungs trying to expel a lot of that garbage that has been dumped in them from smoking the cigarettes. So you're going to have to work through it. It's something that happens to everybody. It happened to me. I'm sure it happened to all the guys and girls that work at the different vape shops. Any vapors that have been vaping for a long time, they'll probably tell you the same thing. When they first started vaping, you cough a lot because your lungs are expelling that nasty crap that has been dumped into them over the years of smoking. So it's definitely going to be something that you're going to want to stick with. Work through it. Find yourself something that really works for you and just stick to it. You're not going to want to just dump the money into whatever you spent on vaping and then just quit altogether on vaping and then go back to your cigarettes. That's dumb. So make sure you stick with it. Get yourself a really good juice, even if it's just like you just find a flavor that you like and you just want to stick with it. You're not really interested in the clouds or anything like that. You just want to be able to get yourself off the cigarettes. Do it. I mean, it's like we're talking Nike or something. Like, just do it. Seriously, just do it. I mean, it's going to be something that's going to be really beneficial for you. It's going to be beneficial for your health. It's going to be beneficial for the people around you because you're not going to smell like an ashtray. You're not going to taste like an ashtray for that significant other. Maybe if you have kids, you're definitely not going to want to be smoking because not only is it bad for you, but then it's going to be bad for them. Whether or not they see you smoking, they're going to know something is up, and of course it's a bad influence on them. Like, there's a million different reasons why you should not be smoking, and switch over to the vapor. I mean, it's just, I could make another video entirely about why vaping is so much better than smoking. Maybe I will at some point in the future, I don't know. The last question that I did want to pull up on here, just as like a bonus question, just because there's been so much crap on Facebook, on the news, and whatever about like there being formaldehyde in the freaking juice when you vape it. Settle this once and for all, okay? Your average atomizer or mod is going to heat up to anywhere from like about 80 to maybe 300 degrees, depending on how ridiculous or sane your build is. For any kind of formaldehyde to be created in the juice, in the vapor, it needs to heat up to 1,000 degrees, and you need to vape it for 100 seconds. Basically what happened is that the people that went and did this test is that they created an unrealistic scenario to be able to create a result. That result would never happen in real life. So for you people out there that are trying to say like, oh man, you're going to get formaldehyde in your vapor. Are you a robot? Are you like some kind, are you Superman? Maybe? One of the guys from Green Lantern from another planet that's able to vape that hot, that long? I don't think so. Any human on this planet is not going to be able to vape like that to be able to need to be worried about whether or not their vape is creating formaldehyde. So that just needs to drop. Squashed. Done. Get that out of your head, because it's just not going to happen, okay? Focus on the good. Nobody ever said that vaping was healthy. I mean, we're not comparing vaping to drinking milk and eating your vegetables. It's just a better alternative than your cigarettes, okay? Plain and simple. It's not healthy. It's just healthier. Okay? Done. Alrighty, so with that one said, and all these questions answered, make sure that you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, especially those of you who have been watching since Chapter 1. My next video is actually going to be a building and wicking tutorial. That's another thing that I got a lot of questions about. Some of you are still having problems with it. So definitely stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to do it slowly so you guys are able to build it with me. I know there's a lot of videos out there where they build it real quick, or they like build one and then completely skip over the second one, so you don't really get to see what happened. I'm going to go ahead and build it slowly on the camera. I'll wick it on the camera so you guys can see what it is that I'm doing to make sure that we do it together and make sure that you guys are able to understand some of the issues maybe that you'll run into. Then I'll give you an opportunity to send me questions for that as well. But for now, once again, I do want to thank you for watching. This has been Chapter 4 of Chronicles del Vaping Beaner. And ciao. Guys, have a good day.